Let's go.
Hello and welcome to London is Ours, episode 2. Episode 1 went so well, we didn't do it for 3 weeks because we didn't think we could top it. But my name's Ricky. I'm the host of this game. Well, what should we call it? Gameweek 1 podcast. I've got Sim and Ben with me, boys. How you feeling this week?
Yeah, just got back from Udine, where proper teams play in a proper tournament. Just fell short in the end, but we gave ourselves a good fist of it.
It's a game only for European champions.
Exactly.
Only European champions are allowed to play.
We'll talk about it. We're going to talk about it, right? Nini's in the house. How are you, Nini?
Yeah, not doing too bad. Just very excited for the start of the Prem returning. Obviously got a really tasty game against Crystal Palace. I'm a little bit nervous for them. You know what I mean? They've been quite decent against Liverpool. Got to show them respect.
Still look decent. They may be losing one of their best players, though, so we can't
hopefully both of them is what I'm hoping. I'm hoping we take one.
Yeah, he as well. But yeah, we'll talk about that. Lee, what's happening?
I'm all right, thanks. I had a good week. It's been a good week, hasn't it? Been a good week.
Had a good
week. What I mean? Like, Spursy have come all Spursy again, like, you know what I mean? That's what we like.
They're back.
Do you know what, like, I don't know, a couple of my mates said, it'd be great if they get smashed 5-0, which will probably what happened against, a fit and informed PSG team. But, like, what was even better was the way it went. It was just so much better, like, you know what I mean? It was just so much better, like, you know what I mean? So...
Lee, it's nice. It's nice you get your pleasure from us playing in cup finals, where you get in your own cup finals first before you get a smile on your face.
I thought he'd be disappointed. They lost their "We got more XG than PSG" trophy, which is well, apparently they got that in the Champions League.
Listen, you give them a game. You give them a game. You give a team that's been on the beach for 4 weeks a game. Like, I have to admire that. Like, but what happened in the end? It was just pure heaven for every single fan. Apart from Spurs, you know what I mean? And what's the greatest thing about it is, and I know deep down you thought you'd won it, and it was ripped away from you. And not only that, then you go into a 50-50 shootout in a penalty competition. You go 2-0 up, and you messed that up and all. It's incredible. Like, listen, It couldn't have happened to a better lot of fans, a lot of better team, and an undercooked PSG. Done the business, like, you know what I mean, like. And
listen, I've got a little fact for you later on, so we're gonna let you two battle it out later on, right? Because, we're going to go straight into Super Cup, but we're going to be doing our week 1 predictions, how our pre-seasons went. We'll be talking about the Super Cup. Is there ever a deal on or off? Maresca calling out the board, and who are the most deluded fans in London? And it might surprise you. But there we go. So that's what we're going to be getting into. But let's get straight into it, boys. The Super Cup. Who watched the Super Cup here?
I watched the last.
It was just a friendly.
I watched the last 20 minutes.
Going into the Super Cup, Nicky, everyone's like, oh, it's just a glorified pre-season friendly. And when Spurs lose it, you're like, how could you lose another cup final like that? Unbelievable.
No, I agree. It was a pre-season friendly, but at the end of the day, it's still fantastic the way you lost it. It's just so Spurs. It was just, you know what I mean? Like, they played an understrength PSG and to be honest, dominated them. I thought they played very, very well, Spurs, what I see of it. Defensively, very, very good again. Organisation. And, their hero, their favourite player of all time, the best centre-half that's ever graced Spurs, scores the goal for them. And then he completely, utterly goes back into Spurs mode. Like, doesn't pick up the runner for the goal, and somehow has been blameless for the penalty shootout. Blameless. It was the worst. If he scores that penalty, guys, they win it. Simple as that. Like, you know what I mean? And but he gets away with it. And listen, at the end of the day, it is a friendly, but it was a glorified way to lose a game of football, and it's well done.
I prefer the friendly in Hong Kong, to be honest. Hitting one in from the halfway line.
Yeah.
Pape Matasar.
I'll tell you what, though. Not being I know that you was hurting a lot more than me that night. I'll tell you on the other night, you must have been hurting, like, you know what I mean? So,
I'm going to tell you now, right? I'm going to echo Lee there. I thought Spurs were tidy. I thought they were decent. I thought they had better a game for 70 minutes. From what I could see, it was all Spurs. They scored twice. Kudus hit the post. They hit the post. But yeah, he hit the post. I thought they was playing quite well. Listen, I'm going to look at Kudus' performance. I don't think he's as good as somebody said, but he was playing well. Spurs were playing well, right? Then I read, 70 minutes into the game, then I read PSG hasn't done a bit of training since they'd been back, and that was their first game since they did. So I thought, 70 minutes now. They can't concede in 90 because these players ain't going to make 90 minutes. What happened? 2 goals by the 90th. What was the second goal? 95th minute, was it? 94th minute?
Yeah.
How can you concede that? I mean, when you say Spurs are back, Spurs are back. That is the real Spurs there, right there.
But regardless of trading this or that, you're playing the best team in Europe at this moment in time, PSG.
Well, no, I thought that was you.
Hold
on, that was you. Yeah, you lot singing champions of Europe.
We're the second best
team in Europe.
We're the second best.
The second best. But it's no good being second, you know what I mean? Olay, second.
Well, we got a trophy, didn't we? If I remember, if I recall.
Didn't the other night, that trophy.
Didn't the other night. It was quite arsey of us. I think we have to start calling it arsey.
You didn't get a trophy like that. I mean, and listen, God
we
forbid
got more
it
than
being
you in the last
17
5 years, that's for sure.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what, you'd have more expertise on that than us. You know what I mean? 17 years without a trophy. That must be terrible. 5
years 2 months. 2 months,
17 years before that's like, you know what I mean?
We lifted a trophy against you lot in Hong Kong the other
day. When it comes back down to it, you thought you'd won it. And I heard you lot singing it, champions of Europe, we know what we are, you know what I mean? And exactly what you are is Spurs Football Club. That's what
you know what? When we come to the Emirates, we'll be singing it all over again because only one team knows how to taste European football.
How many times have you come to Emirates? Do you know Arsenal have won more times at your ground than you've beaten us? That's unbelievable, but you keep your trophy. You keep it.
We will, Lee. Don't you worry about it. We're going to be bringing it to the Emirates.
It's so big. You're going to defend it, and you're like, why are you not defending it? Get out there and defend it because it's so big. The reason you're not defending it is because you're now not good in it. You're better than not being in it, you know what I mean? So well done. It's such a great trophy. You don't want to be in it,
boys.
He's not rattled at all, is he? He's not rattled at all.
I am not rattled. I am
enjoying this. Let me talk real because I know Lee, you've had a lot of success. Lee, we can't say nothing to you, but I'm going to speak real to the Spurs boys now, right? Let's speak real talk, right? Well, you know what we are, and I'm going to include myself in this. Yeah, we are serial losers. Yeah, and this is the difference between West Ham and Spurs. You keep on saying we're not rivals, blah, 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 blah. We are serial losers. I follow my team around this country not expecting to win a fucking thing, right? When we won that European Cup, I was elated. I come back, Lee saw me, I come back for a podcast the same night. I had my head tilted backwards. I'm 42 years old, for fuck's sake. I had my head tilted backwards. I had a pair of sunglasses on because I hadn't been home for about 5 days, right? I was elated. We are serial losers. We know our place in the pecking list. We are serial losers, and I'm happy to be serial losers. The difference between us and Spurs is Spurs are serial losers as well. Like, you won your European trophy. Yes, it was, as you were saying to us last year, it's a second-rate European trophy, so that can count to you as well. You are serial losers, but somehow have found yourself dining on the top table, and you've just got to accept it, boys. It's the history of the Tottenham. You're going to lose every cup final you're going to be in. I don't think that you can cast yourself as...
Don't put Spurs and West Ham in the same sentence in terms of serial losers.
I just did.
That is preposterous. How many FA Cups have you got to how many FA Cups we
won
got?
In the Premier League era, in terms of what we won in the Premier League era, is not a million miles in it, boys.
Yeah, but football didn't start in 1992, did it?
No, it didn't. It didn't. You are correct. But if you listen to every other fan, right, and he will attest to this because he's going to be talking about the Premier League era right now, right, it's that they've won everything. Arsenal won everything, apart from a European trophy, of course. Right? What have we won?
Exactly.
We've won nothing. And I accept it, boys. I accept it. I can sit here and say we are a fucking bunch of losers. But I love my bunch of losers. You've got to accept that you are a bunch of losers as well.
We're current Europa League champions, mate.
Exactly.
I've said my piece, boys. I can't make it any...
I tell you, let me next year, are you? Not winning it next year.
No, we're not winning it this year.
Nah,
But
because
let me be
it's so good, you're not even defending it.
let me be real with you about the game on Wednesday. Yeah, I was going into the game expecting to get absolutely hammered.
Why?
You know. Don't ask Wiley. Just listen to what I gotta say. Just listen to what I gotta say. I went into the game expecting to get absolutely hammered against the PSG team who are far superior to us. And that is just the facts, right? They win the Champions League. We won the Europa League. There are two different tier of competition, and that's just the reality. The performance that we put in for 70, 80 minutes before we made the changes, I was so proud that night to be a Tottenham fan, and it was gutting. It was absolutely gutting the way we lost it. But I came out of that stadium with a bigger sense of pride than disappointment. And that's just where I'm at with it.
I remember feeling the same in the FA Cup final against Liverpool. Put on the best FA Cup final ever. Yeah,
I remember that.
ever.
Steven Gerrard.
The best FA Cup final ever. You know what we come out? Losers. Does anyone remember West Ham in that cup final?
Steven Gerrard goal was unreal, wasn't it?
Unreal. One of the best ever, to be honest.
I was so proud of my team that day. I thought to myself, this is it now. You know, we've given one of the best teams in the country a game for the, FA Cup elite. We've given them a game. I mean, we should have beaten. We should have beaten that day. We should have come out there. I was so proud walking out of the Millennium Stadium. It doesn't mean fuck all now.
And that's exactly why no one's ever going to remember Arteta's Arsenal, but they are going to remember Ange Postecoglou's Spurs because they lifted a trophy.
Yeah, that's true, that is true,
I'll give you that.
Yeah, I'll give you that. So no one talks about Pochettino no more then, do they?
No, pretty much.
They all want him back, at the end of the day.
We got Thomas the French engine, man.
Yeah, he's not going to last long. What I'm hearing, playing boring football, I've already had a couple of Spurs fans moan about that.
Don't talk to us about boring football, Lee.
No,
I'm set piece FC.
Listen, Arsenal, Listen, Arsenal, Tottenham played very, very similar to they played in Hong Kong in that game, and I think that's a route that you're going to have to go down when you play better teams. But even a couple of Spurs fans go, "Oh, he's too negative and all that," and I think that's a bit harsh on him. You got to give him a little bit of time. He's not going to play against Burnley
100 miles an hour, Lee. In the last 2 years, 100 mile an hour football.
Yeah, but I think they played differently against Burnley. I don't think they put their defensive shackles on against Burnley. Mm-hmm. But I think I think with Spurs, I think that's what they're going to do. I think they'll look at the opposition and play accordingly. And I think that was Ange's problem, and probably to a certain extent Marino's and. I can't think of the other fella's name now. Conte, because they would. I know from Conte it was that whether they were playing Burnley or whether they were playing Arsenal, they played the same way, and I don't think that suited the Spurs, style of what they expect. So it's going to be really interesting what Frank's going to do. I think that you'll see two different Spurs sides. So
yeah,
especially when we get Eberechi Eze through the door. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, it looks like it's close, boys. But let's look, Nee. You've been very quiet a minute, Nee. What's going on?
He doesn't have to say anything in this conversation.
Yeah, I'm just letting you guys have your fun, Yeah, I can't really relate to all this loser talk. We're kind of a great run ourselves recently,
I've got to say, ladies and gentlemen, the only club that has won everything, London club, the only English club that has won every trophy.
I love it when you guys are saying it, to be honest. But giving my thoughts on Spurs. Obviously, I watched that game because I'm a football nerd. Honestly, it felt like if there was like an alternate universe where maybe like Eze was signed and who's the other guy you're looking to like?
Savinho, yeah.
And Savinho. If you had them two options off the bench, I don't think you lot are getting penned in as much. And I think then at least you have an outlet to play from, right? Because you need that outlet. You were just getting suffocated too much. And I mean, the disappointing thing was that the PSG team that ended the game was actually weaker than the one that started it. But you guys wasn't able to just kind of like hold out in the end. Obviously, the Ramos late equalizer after.
But our team were weaker as well than the one that started.
No, for sure, it was. I was curious, why didn't Frank maybe use like Johnson as an outlet, maybe, or like. Maybe Odebear's too young, but still, like you needed someone.
We went for Tell.
Plays good, isn't it? Yeah, I get it, Tell, but listen, he's a talented kid, right? But I don't know. I just felt like you guys was playing into PSG's hands a lot more. And as I'm saying, you were up against a weaker PSG team that ended up getting the 2 goals against you. So it was a bit surprising.
It's a great point. That's a great point. Like, well, why not bring on Johnson instead of Tell? Why? That's a great point.
Because Tell's more of a striker. He's got more experience in that position, so he went for it. He went for that direction. But I think a lot of people are asking that question. Why not Johnson? But I don't think you can put it down to that position, because you brought on Solanke. The Solanke as well wasn't holding up the ball, and you'd expect Solanke would be the perfect option to come on late in the game to hold it up, win some free kicks, close people down. And he also didn't have a great cameo. So I don't know if it's that
harder.
decision.
Like, you're isolated by yourself, right? No one's near you. Obviously, like Kudus was a flipping cheat code for you guys, and I actually think he's the reason why you guys even had a chance against PSG. I think he's
you have to say that again when Nicky comes back.
Yeah, I know he doesn't like it, but I think he's
an unbelievable player, isn't he, Nini? He was unbelievable.
Single-handedly gave you a fighting chance against PSG. Like, he was that tackle on Mendes, he just brushed him off like he was nothing. I mean, this close control, this holding off guys bigger than him. His core strength is ridiculous. Like, you guys know, he was the dream signing I wanted to get for us this season. If you had him alongside Esteval, Cole Palmer, you could probably talk about title challenge, because Kudus he's that big game player where, you know, the chips are against you. You think you got no chance. He gives you a chance. Something happened from nothing.
He's not. He's not, mate.
You're hearing this, Nicky. You're
hearing
this.
I'll sit there and watch him for season.
He's not. Absolutely not. I saw this guy during Ajax. Obviously, I'm Ghanaian, so he's my countryman as well. I was at the World Cup. I was watching him play live. You know what I mean? Now you're understanding the connection. But yeah he's a fantastic player. And I think the only thing that really hurts me is that he decided to go to Spurs. I wasn't patient to wait for us.
I agree with you. Close control, best I've ever seen. Dribbling on the ball, best I've ever seen. Strength, best I've ever seen. Comes down to end product, we'll see. That is the problem with him. End product, yeah? And then when the end product isn't going his way, listen, we've gone over this and over this and over this. I'm just saying, that's my opinion. That's what I saw for West Ham. But again, it's not going to be the same at West Ham as it is at Tottenham. Listen, I thought we'd done okay. I really do. You know what I mean? He was making things happen. But you've got to judge it on what you judge it on. And that is a team that have just come back from pre-season. They are not fit. They should not be last in 90 minutes. And they should not be scoring twice in the 90th minute when they've just come back from pre-season.
I don't know. I mean, you know what? Obviously, I can't believe I'm the one who's defending Spurs now. Something's not going on. Like, nothing's making sense today. But
come on,
Frank,
Nini.
I give credit to Frank. He's the second guy that Spurs have hired that I actually rate and like. They was copying like a few of the things that we did against PSG in the Club World Cup final, where they was just like pressing high, like trying to stop their build-up play. Like Spurs gave a lot of backup, like a lot of like complete possession for PSG's defenders to do nothing with. You know what I mean? They were in control for a lot of that game. But again, I'm not gonna lie, the history of the Spurs right near the ends, when the pressure is on, I just don't think these lot have, like, as a team, like the mentals really to kind of hold out the tough moments. Because like the goal you conceded near the end, like for that
it's Frank's
to be the goal,
first competitive game.
for that to be the goal, yeah, still. But you come on, you got Paulinias, you know, guys that won things with Portugal. You got a few, you know, Romero won things with Argentina.
And we got over the line in May, like we showed.
Frank's first competitive game. If it would have been you lot or something, it would have been Arsenal in Hong Kong. That would have been your first competitive game.
Which he won. Which we got a trophy for. So another one he got over the line.
Let me press this on a little bit. Let's just have a quick summary. Let's go to Nate first, because we haven't heard a lot from him. I know we've just heard from him. How's your pre-season gone?
I think it's been pretty perfect, to be honest. No complaints. Not much really adds. Players are playing well. I think the thing that's really impressed me is the strength of depth. It's not just the big boys like Palmer and Joao Pedro and these lot now. It's the fact that Maresca's happy to rotate a lot more. And these lot that are coming on are impacting the game. Like, they're keeping the standards up still. I think that's a big thing to have for this season, because like last season we had like Joao Felix and Nkunku's and stuff like that. There was a lot of reluctance from Maresca to actually want to use these guys. So the fact that he's happy to turn to them now, the players he has at his disposal right now, that gives us a big advantage. But outside of that, man, we're seeing just like great football. That's been another really exciting thing. Joao Pedro looks like a flipping star. Liam Delap doing his thing as well, having two strikers we've not had two strikers of quality like this.
Yeah.
I can't even remember. Like what, Drogba and Torres? Maybe, I don't know. I can't even remember. It's been that long. So we're looking complete. But obviously the only signings was obviously Levi Cole getting the injury at the time. I think this was his season. He was developing so good. His leadership was starting to show quite a lot now. And to have this before the World Cup, I felt like really devastated for the kid, to be honest.
So let me just say this as well, right? Because we can knock off one of the subjects here, right? Grey football, pretty average pre-season. Maresca's just called out the board, right? What are your thoughts on that? Is Maresca trying to save his own arse? Because they might be looking at this and thinking, that ain't that good, mate. We've got the team now for a title charge, or they should have with the amount of money they spent.
What's he actually said?
Yeah, what did he say first of all?
So today in the presser, he revealed that they're looking at internal and external solutions to Cole's injury. And he was basically saying, listen, I want to sign a centre-back. That's what I want. Now, I'm not surprised that Maresca's showing his balls now. I know that at times last season, people felt like his presses were a bit PR-y, like he's just saying things that you expect him to say, adding no real personality at times, safe answers here and there. But I kept telling him, man, you got to understand this. Like when you've been hired at Chelsea, yeah, you don't have much of a lifeline at this football club. You know, on average, you got 1 season or 9 months and you're out. So who are you to come here and start demanding and commanding when you haven't even shown the club yet that they should support and back you? So I feel like now that he overachieved last season, the overachievement being the Club World Cup win, obviously getting CL, winning the Conference League, he's now got, he can let his nuts hang a little bit now. Like he can go to the club now and be like, listen, like these are the things I need. You've seen what I can do with what you're giving me. Give me more of what I want and you'll get even more from the team right now. But just I know I'm like kind of talking, but just kind of end my point. It's going to be interesting to see if the board listen. Obviously, it's not the first time he asked for someone. He asked for a goalkeeper at the start of the window. But the board was like, well, listen, we're not going to overpay for Magnon. We're not going to pay big money for any goalkeeper. We're happy with Sanchez. We got this kid called Penders that we've loaned out to Strasbourg. We back these guys. And Maresca was like, fine, I accept that. But I wonder if they do the same thing again for him. Because they might feel like, listen, we got a lot of defenders already, yeah? Badia Shield, he's a talent. He's been inconsistent, but he is a talent. We signed Hato, who can also play there. We got Action Pum. We got Torsten, who's been doing really well in that position. I mean, we got enough options for foreigners coming back as well. I can understand why the club wouldn't force signing a centre-back. But I guess the testing period is going to be this year. Before the window closes, it's like at least 3 games in the Prem. If the defenders aren't up to standards, we might make a surprise bids. If they ain't, then stick with what you have,
Well, yeah, he went into a lot of detail, Maresca, in his presser, saying Tosin is the only one currently who can play that build-up role that he needs. Yeah. And he was saying he's quite kind of frustrated. He said the board know what he wants. What did you think of what Carragher said? He said he doesn't think Chelsea will get out the Champions League group stages.
I think that was absolutely outrageous. I think all of us are actually feeling that we're going to have a better European campaign compared to the Prem campaign. Because we're not going to win the league. Like, we ain't there yet. And people keep saying, this, that. But we've bought so many players that it's reduced our average age even more compared to what it was last season. So we're younger now compared to how we were a few months back. So how are you expecting us to win a title against Liverpool and City and that, when guys like Esteval winning at 18 and he can't even speak English right now? So, we've got to be a bit realistic with that. But, equally at the same time, I think we're just going to have to wait and see what develops, see what happens, to be honest.
Right. Let's move on to Lee. Because I'm conscious of the time. Lee, how's your pre-season been? Ups and downs?
Yeah, not good. That's what worries me about going in the Man United game. I don't know what Arsenal had a little bit of confidence with the game against Bilbao, but I think all of our pre-season, not so much the results, no one really cares about results, it's performances. I don't think we played well in any of them. Certainly Villarreal at home on the back of the Tottenham game when we was poor. coming back to Villarreal at home and getting tonked, and we did. Defensive errors. Listen, we all can make up the excuse of different teams played, and virtually like that last game looked like it would probably be near enough the team that's going to start the season, and obviously they clicked into gear a little bit better with that, So, I would have liked to have gone into the campaign just a little bit more better form, like performance-wise. You know what I mean? Seen a little bit more. I've only seen us really play well for that game. There was glimpses in a game against Newcastle, but there was things that were concerning against Newcastle, certainly concerning against Spurs as well, where we didn't really mount that minute like that. They played a low block and we couldn't break it down. So there's that, and we're going to come up against a lot of teams like that, particularly at home. So I do fear for that. But our first few games are a little bit more going to be. Man United are going to be more. I don't see them playing a low block. Maybe Leeds will, but then of course we've got Liverpool. So it's going to be an open sort of a game. So yeah, I think you'd like a better pre-season than what we've had, if I'd be really honest. But transfer-wise, we've done well in the transfer market. We've got the player that we wanted up front. So we're ready to go. And I think now it is down on Arteta. Has he got the minerals to pick the right team for the right games, and the right style as well? It's all right having the best team out there, but sometimes you've got to have a look at the opposition and attack their weaknesses. So it'd be interesting how we do on Sunday. I think on Sunday, I know it sounds silly, but coming away from Sunday, I know a lot more where Arsenal are going to be.
I know exactly what you mean now, because I feel the same. But while you're on Arteta, Lee, right? So I'm going to put something to each one of you. Mikel Arteta makes an incorrect claim about Arsenal topping the Premier League table across a 3-year stretch.
Shameless.
Right? Mikel Arteta believes Arsenal can now stand shoulder to shoulder with Europe's elite, but admits his reign will only be complete when the club moves. I mean, to make an incorrect claim like that, he must be fucking looking at it. And if he can't count, that's worrying. But is that him, Lee, trying to... What's the word? The pressure's showing now, because now he knows this is it. This is it. This is fucking it.
I don't know if it's the pressure showing or not, but at the end of the day, the facts of the matter is that we've done well over the last 3 years, but we haven't got. There's been a better team than us. Man City have been a better team over the last couple of years, and then Liverpool last season. That's the fact. Don't matter what way you look at it. We've not been. I don't say not good enough. The season before last, but definitely last season we wasn't good enough, and I don't care what he has to say about that. You can look on injuries and all that. I'm not having that. You've got what you want now. You've got a very, very good defence. You've now got the attacker that's going to hopefully take you get you the chances that you do. So I don't think there's no excuses for him no more. I don't think you can blame that. They're an experienced playing team now that's been together for 2 or 3 years. I don't think you can I think that we're more settled than any team in the Premier League as far as a starting 11. If you look at Liverpool, we're just talking about Chelsea there. I think 9 out of 10, maybe even 10 out of 11 players, most of them we'd say, well, that'll be the 11 that's going to start. So I just see that, it's fine margins, and maybe he's looking to just take a little bit of pressure off. I don't know, put it on himself. I don't know, but the pressure's on.
It's up there with, when they say, Crystal Palace. If the season started in January, then Crystal Palace would have won. It means fuck all. It means nothing.
The league's over 9 years.
Over 3 years, you haven't won the league. You might. Even if you accumulate the most points, which you haven't, that was incorrect, right? But even if you had, it means nothing.
We won a 2-year table, didn't we, under Poch? 2 years, 2 years accumulatively. We won the league.
Least conceded most points.
And if I'd be really honest, when Pochettino said that, everybody ridiculed it and took the mickey So I don't know why Mikel would say something like that. There are sometimes. Listen, I think Mikel's a good manager. Don't get me wrong, but sometimes he just comes out with ludicrous things, you know what I mean? Like, and I think, oh, please don't say that. Like, you know, like the thing when we lost to Newcastle, you know what I mean? It was about the balls. Like, right, and we're different balls, but really, you don't want to listen to things like that. You got beaten by the better side. Just hold your hands up. Sometimes you are a better team, but you get beaten by a team, and you have to just hold your hands up. Don't keep looking for excuses. At the end of the day, look, we have been very, very good over a 3-year period, but fantastic. Wherever we go, we've not lost to a team in the top 6 for so many years. It does not matter. You've got to find a way of getting over the line. And I'm afraid, whether he likes it or not, whether the cult Arsenal Arteta fans like it or not, he's got this season. He has got this season. Like, he's got to win something.
Lee, what do you reckon about? I don't know if you heard what Tony Adams was saying the last couple of days. That
I've seen that.
Martin Odegaard should be stripped of the captaincy, giving it to Rice. What do you reckon?
No, I don't agree with it. I understand what he's saying. But I think it would, in my opinion, upset the apple cart too much. Like, you know, I get what he's saying about Declan Rice, and, you know, like Tony Adams was an unbelievable leader. I just think the other thing what a lot of people don't remember about this is our vice captain Saka. Whenever like Odegaard's not playing, Saka plays as captain. So you're overriding him as well, like, you know what I mean. So I'll be honest with you.
Let me just integrate there. That might be Rice's choice. That might be Rice's choice, because Rice is a very humble boy. Even when he was a captain at West Ham, he didn't really get the feeling he wanted to be the captain. You know what I mean? I think he thought there was other deserving players. So that might be Rice's choice. Saying that, look, Bakayu's been here a long time. He's the captain after that. Martin's been here a lot longer than me. Yeah, that might be Rice's choice.
I get that. Listen, there's circumstances can happen. Like, you know, Xhaka's just gone to Sunderland, and he's only just gone there, and he's been given the captaincy. Like, you know, it's there's a lots of different changes and all that. Like, you know, listen, I see what Tony Adams is saying. We're not. I know it sounds like he's slagging off Odegaard and he's slagging off Arteta. He's not. He's saying they've got them to a certain. It's to get that bit first, just to get us over the line. What will get us over the line? You know what I mean? Like, and it's fine margins. Maybe it is a Declan Rice.
Maybe that's what needs to something needs to change, Lee.
Yeah, something like
change.
That may be it, but I just think at this moment in time, we've got something good going. We're a good side. I don't think you need to make drastic changes. It's just the manager getting the right calls at the right time, strikers scoring the goals at the right time. You know what I mean? And going from there, like, you know, we're not far off, and that's the frustrating thing for Arsenal fans, and we can sense that we're nearly there, but we're not. And if you'd be really honest, you know, you look at Tottenham with Pochettino, you start looking at him as the manager and you don't actually start looking at what he'd actually done to get you there. And I think that's what's happening with Arteta. It's not what he's done over the last 2-3 years now. It's can he get you over the line? That's professional football and sport. You've got to be able to get over the line. Simple as that.
Okay. Thank you very much, Lee. Boys, how have you gotten in pre-season? Up and down again? Some good, some bad?
Yeah, definitely some good, some bad. Definitely the good being we got to beat Arsenal for the first time in a while, and Lee was right there in Hong Kong watching it in first hand. We all love to see that on YouTube. But no, I think there are things to worry about in terms of the way we progress the ball. Our attacking patterns of play have been a bit non-existent so far this pre-season. But I've been really pleased about and impressed about is our defensive structure, our defensive shape. We're definitely much harder to play against, and I think that's going to definitely stand us in good stead. Look, it's clear to see we're not ready for the season in terms of personnel. We need players to come in. We need a creator. James Maddison injury, ACL, knocked us for 6. Now,
I feel so sorry for him. Yeah, I really do. He's a great player, man, and you know what I mean. Like, rivalry aside, you know, he had an injury last year, and he's one of them players. He's got so much talent. And, you know, I met James a couple of years ago when he joined Tottenham, and he was so... we was at a BT event or a TNT event.
Oh, we were there, yeah.
We were there with you.
Yeah, and he was so happy to be at Tottenham, you know what I mean? I was speaking to him a little bit, and he's like, yeah, man, I'll come down to London. It's fantastic. It's fantastic to be here. Great club and all that. He's so happy to be there. And, you know, with the injuries before, I feel so... Because, I'm putting my England hat on here a little bit. He could be a great player for England. He really could. He could fit into that England side, I believe. You know, and he's such a great, talented player. I just got this feeling that injuries are going to rob him of a great career, a bit like Jack Wilshere.
Yeah. So look, rivalry aside, you know what I mean? Like, I quite like. I like Maddison as a he's like a good, seems like a good guy, a bit of a laugh. Like, you just don't wish that on no one. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just a tragic injury, and unfortunately, he's been blighted by those injuries just at the wrong time, and So I feel for him. Like, will he come back and be the same player? Probably not, which is a shame. You know what I mean? Like, it's such a horrendous injury.
It's a massive season for him as well, because it was his first Champions League campaign this season. And
the thing is, right? So I'm going to tell you this for now. Now, I'm no professional footballer, but how long ago was it? 15 years ago, 18 years ago. I'd done the same injury as that. I've done a lot more injuries, but I ruptured my ACL, and I've never been the same. I can't walk now. You know what I mean? Like, so it is a very difficult injury to get over.
100%.
Yeah. But look, it's clear to see we need someone in that position desperately. We need someone out on the wing as well. Look, you look at the players that are out for us. So Sonny is obviously gone. Maddison's out for pretty much a season. Kulusevski's out for the first 3-4 months of the season. That's 67 goal contributions from last season. Those 3 players impacted the team with, and we just haven't got someone or anyone that can, pick up the mantle for them. So it's really important that we bring in this Eze and Savinho that can help our attacking play, and we just need creativity. We're desperate for creativity, and I think the whole of pre-season has been a demonstration of that.
What happened to Kulusevski? What's the matter with him? Like, he's been out for a while now. What's going on there?
So he did a knee injury at the back end of last season, a very serious one as well. I think it's called Polenta, knee injury.
Oh, Polenta, it's a terrible one.
That could take up to 9 months potentially for him to get back to full fitness. So he's not going to be seen for the foreseeable future as well. So there's a severe lack of creativity. Yeah. We don't really have an attacking midfielder unless Kudus is going to play in that role. So I think obviously Gibbs-White deal falling through as well, with Marinakis basically keeping him hostage there in Forest. That has obviously been a massive blow to Tottenham and our transfer plans. And there's been a massive change in philosophy in the team. I think last manager, Ange publicly said he doesn't lose sleep over keeping clean sheets or not. And 2 players now have come out publicly saying that the main focus in training for Thomas Frank in this pre-season has been about keeping clean sheets. And clean sheets is how you win games and potentially titles as well. So I think we've seen a massive focus on defensive organisation and structure and set pieces. That has been the main focus of the pre-season. I think it's Arsenal and PSG up until the last 10 minutes we saw really to great effect, but we also saw we played some League One opposition, and we were the ones with the ball, and we really struggled to create chances, and we struggled to break them down. So I think there's a bit of worry there, but I think there's also a lot of positivity about how quickly he's gotten this defence organised and how quickly we've seen changes from pre-season.
I mean, there has been a lot of set pieces, but you mentioned now, you needed players on the wing, you needed this, you need creativity. Double deal maybe on the cards here. Eze and Savinho. What's your feelings about them? I think that could. I mean,
it'll be massive. It'll be massive for us.
Eze is massive, but Gibbs-White was massive, and that's not so massive anymore. You know what I mean? But these 2 here, if you can get Eze over the line, especially, I like Savinho, but Eze is the one for me. I think I'm very surprised. I am very surprised that there ain't more top clubs after him.
Well, the talk of the summer was Arsenal this, Arsenal that. Donini, would you say?
Yes, that's the thing. I think clubs have that position filled up, but I think Eze. You know what he's shown? He's shown that he's a match winner. He shows that he wins you trophies. You know what I mean? He's got a big character, a big personality, likable guy. I'm surprised why Arsenal haven't been able to. I mean, I'm not surprised. They need to raise the funds for him, and it goes back to that debate: should you have bought Madueke? Should you have bought Eze first instead? You know what I mean? And I think maybe Eze would have made more sense for Gyökeres, but. Listen, I'm just the armchair fan at the end of the day. What do I know? But yeah, I mean, if Eze goes to Spurs, I feel like you guys are just kind of like changing like your PR now, because you just keep going for all these likable players. Maddison, Eze, the managers. It doesn't feel very Spurs like. It's like obviously I don't like.
What do you mean? We had likable Dele Alli, Sonny, Kane.
Yeah, poor Sonny as well. Yeah, I don't like it. It's just
no one likes it.
Did you just say Dele Alli was likeable?
Of course he was.
I mean, come on. Once I found out what he went through, I was like, fair enough. A little hug,
Likeable.
Dele Alli would have been likeable for you if he wasn't playing at Tottenham. I'll tell you that.
Well, but this is it, isn't it? Like we talking about likeable players. Sonny, I could give you. Yeah. Kane, I could give you.
Kane, yeah, 100% Kane too.
Two top boys. Dele Alli, I want to smash his face in. He's one of them players. Like, you always get them players. They're good if they play for you. They're playing against you. Robbie Savage is one. He's the classic that I always go. If they don't play for you, you want to smash their faces in. And that Dele Alli had a punchable face. But,
Dele Alli, by the way, that is such a like.
Oh, it's poor, isn't it?
So bad, whatever happens. You know what I mean? Like, you know, like with Song, you could see it gradually happening. We had the conversation in Hong Kong, didn't we? That I don't think he'll be there by Christmas. It actually happened a lot quicker. But there was a gradual decline in it. But the decline of Dele Alli from being, I think, one of the best.
It's really sad, to be honest.
He was sad. It's sad. It is so sad.
Yeah. I'm going to sound mean-spirited, but I always kind of felt like he was a little bit overrated, only because, like, I'm going to sound like a football nerd, but he's playing like that second striker role. And I thought to myself, outside of playing this role at Spurs, this role don't exist anywhere else. And it's just like, obviously, you know, your goal scoring, your movement, all the good qualities are getting shown up right now. But things like, you know, actions on the ball, you know, link up and combination, just like the tactical side to playing in midfield, he didn't really have that, you know what I mean? So
but also, Nini, he was also very young. You know,
no, for sure.
When he broke through, he was very young. He had a whole career ahead of him, and he could have developed. He could have developed other kind of tactical.
Maybe, but like he was only used that way, and you could actually see. I think it was the third season when Spurs tried to do like different things. That when Ericsson got bought by you guys as well. You know, tried to like tweak up how Ali was used, if I'm remembering things correct. And I just felt like his output really came down quite a lot, and I don't know. I just thought he was always like quite limited. Like he was. The few things he was good at, he was class. But his overall game, I didn't think it was quite there. So I didn't think he declined this hard, but I didn't think he was that.
I hate to interrupt you, but
no, he's gone. He's crashed. I think if we bring it back to what we're talking about, the Eze-Savinho double deal, I think that would really change Tottenham's window for the better. I think that would be unbelievable deal for Tottenham. I think they'll completely change the complexion of what's going on at Spurs. And I think as well, when you look at the fees we're talking about,
we need the tools.
60 million potentially for Eze. I mean, they're talking about potentially 75 million euros for Savinho, which is a lot of money. But I think the potential, his ceiling is massive. But when you put it into context of how much the likes of Mbeumo and Cunha have gone for, I do understand the argument. You know, can you really justify paying that amount of money for him? But I think when you got an opportunity to bring someone like him through the door with someone his ceiling, and I think already in the Premier League he's shown what he can do. I'm all for bringing someone like him in. And I think if you've got an attack of Kudus, Eze and Savinho behind Solanke, you look at that forward line now, whoa, all of a sudden that is a lot of firepower.
You've got to get it over the line, boys. But let's see. You know, all power to you. How was West Ham's pre-season? Up and down. Up and down. The same as everyone else's, I guess. We won a lot of games. We only lost the Man United game. But the play has been very much the same. We've got to get midfielders in. We are trying to get midfielders in. You know, I'm all for you know, some of the names that have been said as well. I want people that want to prove themselves. You know what I mean? Because obviously there's a lot of nonsense going on at West Ham at the minute. You know, we had the Kudus thing, and it just seems like people want to leave. We had Rice a couple of years ago. People want to leave, and they want to go on to different things. So we need to. I want to get some young, hungrier players in there. I don't want people like Kudus that want to use us as a stepping stone to step sideways. You know what I mean? So
you want Callum Wilson? That's what you want. More like Callum Wilson.
Yeah, like young Callum Wilson. Yeah, exactly like young Callum Wilson. Yeah. But listen, we'll see. You know, we've had some decent results, but the proof is in the pudding because the Premier League does start tonight. It's Liverpool versus Bournemouth. We're going to kick it off. I've been looking forward to this one, boys. I know you've been looking forward to it. Let's go round quickly. We've got about 7 minutes before we have to shut the stream off. Let's go round really quickly and let's have your game week 1 predictions then for your club.
So I'll go. I'm going 2-0 to Spurs against Burnley. I think.
So let's have one for each club. So let's say who have Chelsea? So Spurs, Burnley, West Ham, Sunderland, Arsenal, Man United, which is going to be the big one,
Chelsea
versus Palace. Right. So let's go round. Let's go right, boys at Tottenham TV. Right. Let's go Spurs first, then Arsenal, then Chelsea, then West Ham. Let's have your predictions because I'm going to write all these down because we're going to make these into a table.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm going, first we'll start off with Spurs. I'm going 2-0. I think Burnley will make it really difficult for us. 15 or 16 goals conceded all last year in the Championship. I think Scott Parker's going to set him up well. Without a creator, I think it's going to be hard for us. But I think set pieces and we'll find something with the quality that we do have. So it'll be a hard-fought victory, in my opinion.
Lee?
Yes, I think the same. I don't think it's going to be easy, but I think Spurs will grind it down in the end. 1-0, unfortunately.
Nini?
I'm going for 2-1 against Palace.
2-1.
Yeah.
No. Spurs first.
Oh, sorry. Spurs. I don't know. I feel like they're still hurting after that. Yeah. I don't know. I think I might see a draw, to be fair.
Oh, God.
Get out of here, Nini.
Yeah.
What are you chatting about?
I'm beginning to like Chelsea fans.
I don't know. I feel like
Mate, Chelsea and Arsenal have a special relationship
I might
on
see
and
a
off
draw.
the pitch now.
Yeah. Burnley got a lot to prove. They need to, they've been like the historic relegation whipping boys, right? They need to come in big. They need to defend for their lives. I feel like the Spurs team might be hurting a little bit, so this is like the best time to get a point of them,
All right, so maybe we'll get some graphics up for this one. So,
Yeah.
what's the score, Lee?
1-1.
1-1. Okay, I've picked Spurs in my final one standing, so I'm going to go Spurs. I think the Spurs are I think they're the bankers of the weekend, to be quite honest with you. Burnley will come
we
out.
don't like to hear that, man.
Wankers of the weekend, maybe. The bankers of the weekend.
They are the bangers. It's a banger.
I'm going to go Spurs 3-1.
3-1.
Yeah. So Lee, let's go.
I'm going to just quickly. I'm going to go 2-0 as well, same as Ben. Pretty similar reasoning.
Yeah,
that's all right. Go on.
2-0. Let's get your graphics up. Yeah. So we'll make the graphics for next week, and we'll see how we done. Yeah. Right. Nini, Chelsea, Palace. Then Palace coming off the massive. Well, they've had a good summer, haven't they? Let's be honest. Unless they start losing players now, obviously Gahey's been linked to Liverpool. Eze's linked to a move away to Tottenham or Arsenal. Yeah. But if they can keep hold of them, I was just saying, like Walton's there still. You know what I mean? Like they've got a good side, Palace. They're not going to be an easy task, especially coming from the back of a huge victory at Wembley on Sunday.
Well, one thing that we have going in our favour is that we're unbeaten against Palace in the last 16 games. We had a 14-win streak against them. And it's only last season we drew against them twice. Yeah. And now part of me feels like, okay, this Palace team under Glasner, they've matured a lot. They're really cohesive. They're really tight. They play together. They got weapons all across the field. Guys like Munoz, underrated. Mateta, one of the most underrated players. I got a lot of respect for them. And it feels like, could they maybe sneak something against us? I think the only reason I'm going 2-1 is because I just feel like what I'm seeing from us offensively, Club World Cup pre-season is looking so good that I think we could find solutions against Palace. But it'll be a tough game. I got a lot of respect for them. So yeah, 2-1.
2-1. Lee?
Yeah, I'm going 2-1 as well. I don't think it'll be easy for Chelsea. I think Palace are a decent side. They make it difficult, particularly away from home. And they've got people that can hurt you. 2-1. But I think Chelsea just nick it.
Okay, boys?
I'm going to go 1-0 Chelsea. I think it might be a bit of a stodgy performance because, off the back of the Club World Cup. I know they had a couple of friendlies in between, but Palace, a tough opposition. It looks like Eze starting. Glasner saying he's starting on Sunday. So with him and Guehi in the team, they're on a high off the Community Shield. So I think it's going to be very difficult. But I think Chelsea will get a goal. And then I think Eze might have his head elsewhere. So I'm going 1-0.
Yeah, I'm actually going 2-0. I think I don't think it's going to be like plain sailing for Chelsea. I think Palace will definitely give them a good game. But I see Chelsea maybe going 1-0 up and then, very hard performance for Palace and they'll start to get into it. Don't know if they'll find the back of the net and maybe Chelsea will just finish them off in the last 5-10 minutes.
I'm going to go 2-2.
2-2.
Yeah, 2-2. I think, Palace are flying high, man. And I just, I don't think, especially with the stuff Mariska's coming out with this week, all may not be well at the camp. And I think that may be the thing that pushes him out. You know what Chelsea are like. You have to have a draw, and you got the next manager in. It's like a conveyor belt. But yeah, I'm going to go 2-2. I'm going to go 2-2 for that one. Let's go West Ham because the big one's at the end. West Ham versus Sunderland away.
Go on, you start, Nicky. Go on.
I'll start. Okay. I don't think we're ready, but I do think we'll win. I think they'll come out the traps quick. You know, it's going to be a mad atmosphere there. Because they haven't been in the Premier League for a long time. They've got a load of new signings. You know, it's going to be flying high over there. A bit like Wrexham, you know, at the weekend, if you watch the Wrexham-Southampton game, they're going to come flying out the traps. They're going to get a goal. But I think we sort of slow the play down and stop them. And you know, they run their self into the ground. A lot of new players there. And I think we win 2-1.
Okay. I'm going to go for 2-2. I think...
I would not blame you if you went for a Sunderland win. Yeah, I'm just saying. Like,
2-2. Look, I've not been impressed by West Ham from the small bits I have seen. Sunderland, a lot of players, but I think first game in the Premier League for a while, again, in their own fans, it's going to be a mad atmosphere in there from the Sunderland fans, and I think the players are just going to be riding off that energy for a little bit. I think obviously West Ham do have more quality in the side, so I think they'll fight. I think it's just going to be a topsy-turvy game, end to end, and it'll be a good one for the neutral to watch. But I couldn't pick a win. I went 2-2.
Okay.
I'm going 2-0 West Ham. I think they're going to take it. They're a bit more settled at the moment than Sunderland. I know Sunderland have got a lot of very impressive new signings, and I actually think they might stay up, to be honest, this season. But I think it might take them a bit of time to settle into the season and get the teams to gel. I'm not sure about West Ham either. I think both of them in a relegation battle. But I think Bowen should be enough to see you through this game. So I'm going 2-0 West Ham.
Thanks, Lee?
I'm going to go 1-1, and the reason I'm going to go there, I wouldn't want to be going to Sunderland first game of the season, like, you know. I've done it once before, and they beat us 1-0, like, and the atmosphere was incredible up there, like, you know. So I fear that with their new signings and their backing and all that, if West Ham ain't on it, they could struggle here, like, you know what I mean. I think that they're good enough to get something out of it, though. But I think 1-1.
Right. Okay, Lee. So let's start with you. The big one this week.
Nini.
Yeah. I was waiting for my name.
Sorry.
I feel like West Ham probably will win it. I just think Sunderland got all these new signings, but you need a lot of time to get these guys working together. And I'm looking at their pre-season results. I think they won 1 game out of 6. They had a long pre-season, and they've just picked up defeat after defeat after defeat. Their last defeat was 3-0 loss to Real Vallecano. And that was just like, 6 days ago. So I don't know how ready they're going to be for West Ham. So I'm going to go for a 2-1 win to West Ham.
Thank you very much, Nick. And the big one this weekend, no doubt about it, is, we love to watch these games. Arsenal, Man United. Lee.
Yeah, listen, I think Man United, like, on the form of last season, you know what I mean, they were poor, but I think they've improved their front three dramatically, like, you know. So listen, if Arsenal don't defend well, it's going to be tough. But I'm in the camp of, like, I think it's best to take on Man United now than in 2-3 months' time, when I think they're going to be a little bit more aware of what he's doing and everything like that. So I think it's probably not a bad time to say I think Arsenal hopefully will turn up and defend well. 2-0 to the Arsenal.
Nee?
Yeah, I kind of agree with Lee. I do feel like, it's probably the best time to play against United, but at the same time, there's a lot of expectation in Arsenal right now. People are kind of like, well, if Arteta don't win something this season, he's out, irrespective of the fact that it wasn't that long ago that you guys weren't even competing to get in the CO. So I'd probably say Arsenal fans probably have to get a little bit humble. I think they get a bit too carried away too much, and a bit too entitled. I feel like there's still question marks. Like, I don't know, like, how's Gyökeres been doing so far with you guys? Like,
he's doing all right. Now he's a little bit fitter.
Yeah.
He's a couple of weeks behind. That's the same with that. Probably Sesko's going to be like that.
Yeah.
You know, this is the problem when you get these players in a little bit late. So I don't know. You know, there is speculation that he might not start. You know, so
that's the
thing, so I don't know. So
yeah, I feel like it might be a tighter game. I see United will have a lot of threat on the counter attack. I think when you're splashing nearly 200 million in an attack like that, you're basically saying we're gonna be counter attacking you with everything we got, basically. And I think their attack, it's an interesting attack. But I feel like Arsenal, just a bit smarter. They can keep the ball a bit better. I think moments. Hopefully that set piece glitch is still something for you guys. Without that set piece glitch, I don't think you guys are even close to second place, to be fair. But I'm gonna be like left foot. I'm gonna go for a draw. I'm gonna go 2-2.
Okay. let me go now, and I'll let the boys go last. I'm feeling a Man United win here, you know.
Come on.
I'm feeling a Man United win.
I'll change your mind. I hope
Yeah.
Sunderland win now. Then,
Listen, I'm not saying what I want. I'm just saying what I'm feeling. I don't
no,
know.
I get it. I'm with you. I understand what you're saying. Don't it's not an easy place to go to.
Yeah, I'm gonna sit on the fence. I'm gonna plump a draw. I'm gonna go 1-1, 1-1 draw.
Yeah,
1-1.
that was my prediction as well. 1-1. I don't know what it is. I just feel a bit of negativity coming from the Arsenal camp, and I'm feeling a lot of positivity coming from the Manchester United camp going into the season. And like the Arsenal have made some really good signings. You look at Gyökeres, Zuba Mendy, Madueke, I think will be a lot better than what some Arsenal fans were making out. So I think I'm not sure why there's this over kind of negativity coming from the Arsenal fan base at this moment in time. I think it should be an exciting time going into this season, but I'm looking at the way you're playing, not great. And it's hard to pick a winner, isn't it? Because you're looking at the players that Man U have brought in, and I think they've got the tools to hurt any team now. They really do, but it's just
100%.
about how long they take to gel. That's the only question here.
Yeah, but I think there's one weakness United still have a little bit is that defense.
Midfield. They need a central defensive midfielder.
I feel like that midfield would definitely put a lot of pressure on that defense. Like if they had a bit of pace in the back, I think they could really get away with a lot more than what they get away with. But I don't know if United are smart, if they play for moments and try and target like weak areas and sides, they might get something, you know what I mean? And then you're kind of just competing against the expectations that Arsenal have. So we're going to learn a lot from both teams either way, you know what I mean? So yeah, I'm excited.
I'm going for 1-1 as well. I think Amram actually likes these big games, his games against the bigger sides. I think they usually perform well and actually turn up for these ones, especially when you got now debuts from Mbeumo and Cunha and potentially Sesko as well. I think they're all going to be up for it. Also, I think the pressure's going to be on Arsenal straight away to win this game. If you want to win the title, these are the kind of games you have to go and win.
Statements, innit?
I think you need to kind of make a statement. I think Arsenal, I think it might set the tone for the season here. And I think, are they going to try and go there and nick a 1-0, or are they actually going to go for United and try and blow them away? And I think they're going to try and nick a 1-0, and I think it's going to go against them. So I think it's going to be 1-0. I'm going 1-0 in this game.
I think that's just a fair point. I think Arsenal have got to make a statement in this game. I know it sounds silly, but if you go up there and lose or you draw, people go, it's the same old Arsenal, not quite there. If you go there and put in a forceful performance, people go, oh look. So I think it's a massive game for us. I know it's only the first game, but I do think it is a massive game for us. More so than Man United, because there is don't get me wrong, there's pressure on Man United because it's Man United, but there is a little bit of they're a progress. Where Arsenal it's now or never, So and I think that's where there's a little bit of nervousness. I don't think it's negativity from Arsenal fans. There's a little bit of apprehension and nervousness more than negative. I think we know what we got to do, and as you're right, boys, if you're going to win the league, you got to go to teams like Man United who are still a very good side, but vulnerable. Do you know what I mean? And you've got to go there and take the points.
But one thing I wanted to even add to that was Arsenal's situation kind of reminds me of Juventus when they signed Ronaldo, because they signed Ronaldo for 100 million. Listen, we want to win the Champions League now. We've been winning the Scudetto for fun that we don't even value it anymore. We got our eyes on a bigger prize right now, and that gamble didn't necessarily pay off for them. And in the end, it costs them a lot more in the long term. This is what I feel like Arsenal are kind of doing with Gyökeres, big expectations. Can he be the guy to break, 25 goals? You probably need 30 goals. Realistically, I think my doubts on him is that he had so much space in Portugal. They played so direct to him. Everyone played towards him. Is he going to get the same service at Arsenal? There's all these little question marks that I got that I'm still not too...
Well, he's not. The answer to that is he's not.
Exactly, he's not. And it's if the difference between you guys winning a league is having this big main name forwards, then I feel like you could be really hurting yourselves in the long run, basically, doing this big gamble to splash all your money on this guy, So
Nini, quick prediction on where Arsenal finish in the league.
Quick position. I'm backing my team this year. I think it's now or never. Got to win.
You're gonna hate me, Lee. I've gone for fourth. I feel like there's gonna be like some disappointment.
That's fair enough. I've got you down to 10th. There you go.
I've also got fourth as well. I think City win the league.
I think third.
I think City win the league too. I think they win it as well.
I think Chelsea might run out of a bit of steam towards the end of the season from the club.
You know what I see? I think this season won't be like last season where Liverpool cleared the pack. It's going to be a lot.
No.
Yeah, I feel like there could be maybe like the final few weeks. You'll probably see like 4 teams that could have a chance to maybe win the league before someone pulls away. So it's going to be really tight this season.
Yeah, I agree. But and I think the start of the season is incredibly massive for Arsenal and Arteta. Like if they go off to a bad start, then pressure is going to be massively on.
I'm going to sound crazy, but I actually think maybe Spurs low key could have like a better season. Why? Because there's no expectations, and I think the fact that Thomas Frank just knows how to get you guys to seal out games, have a bit of structure. Like if you could have added that to what Postecoglou was doing last season, you wouldn't have like lost so many leads or dropped so many points, right? And I feel like you're kind of buying smart players. I'm surprised by the players that even want to come to Spurs. Like a crazy project is being built.
Watch that, European champions, mate. We got the pull.
Pedigree, European champions. Pedigree.
It doesn't sound right when you guys say it.
One thing to watch out for, and I'll be honest, I was speaking to a Man United fan when I was away. Is Man United because they've got all these players, they've got this fire player, and also what they've got, they haven't got, what all the other teams have got, is Champions League football.
Yeah, one game a week.
And they've got one game a week, and now with this Champions League format, as you'll find out, you new boys to it, it's a little bit different to what the
Europa League's the same, Lee. Don't you worry.
Yeah, but like, hold on a minute. You could rest players in the Europa League and the Conference League, play different teams. What I'm saying is that with these games here, do you know, like if there was a group stage, it was top 2, and you after a few games, you knew you was going to. You don't really know how it's going in this league. I don't know if it was different this season, but there was sort of, is it the end of the world to get? Long as you get into the top 16, is it? You know what I mean? Like, and then you look at teams like Real Madrid were in there, Bayern Munich. So it's a difficult thing, like, you know what I mean? Where Man United have not got that, they've got a nice little, and he can get on the training field. I think that is a big thing, and so I wouldn't write off Man United being a lot better and a lot stronger than what they were as well.
Yeah, I agree with that. But look, I think we've run out of time today, people.
Yeah.
So big up to everyone, Nini, Lee. Unfortunately, our resident hammer had to, I think he got cut off, Nicky Hawkins. So we'll see you all after the weekend. I would wish you guys good luck for the first weekend of the season, but I wish you nothing but luck first game of the season. But have a good weekend.
And come on, Burnley.
See you later, people. Thanks for joining.